Happy New Year, bitches. So, my other half bought one of these eBay aircon kits. These are the inverted commas universal type. Not a bolt-in. All the hoses are pre-made. I'll just have to wrap them around so they don't take up space where I don't need them. And I don't think it doesn't include his instructions, but that's kind of fine because I'm probably just going to fucking wing it anyway. Just need to know what goes to what, and then I'll go from there. So all of this here, this big fucker here, this thing behind here, and this little bad boy here has to fit in this very little car. At the moment, what I'm thinking is getting rid of, so in these, when they do the Subaru conversion, they come for a wander, here we go, they go straight up from this firewall to about here, and they box it out straight across to the back, and they put the radiator in under here. So what I'm going to do is cut a big hole in the floor here, and make a box that bolts down from the top and puts the condenser and fan in here. Then I can run the compressor just there, and I'm thinking I'll actually chop out the old airbox system thing, cut it out, and I'll put the unit in here. I've got the space for it here. It'll just blow cold air straight that way, but I can put some tubes on it as well. Maybe I can even run it into the old airboxes and push the cool air forward through that way, because there's vents in them already up here. That's a vent there. I don't know. Either that, or I can figure out how to fit that massive fucking thing under this tiny thing somewhere. Alright, fucking started this the same way I start everything. Cut a big fucking hole. So I've made this sort of frame that goes above where the old floor went. The old floor was cut out. That's not a floor, it's like the sort of the back behind the seat, nearly a boot section. This is the bit that they cut out when they do like a Subaru conversion. They cut this and the firewall above it out, and they put a radiator up in here. So Mecca's going to put an air conditioner up in here. It's all going to be up in here, and under the back seat on the left side is going to be the unit. It's just going to pump cold air into the cabin. And fucking, I tell you what, I am bloody hot right now, and I wish I had this thing installed so I could build it while I had air conditioning on. That'd be sweet. Anyway, this is all sealed up. I made seals all around the edges. You can unbolt it if you want and remove it, but I'm pretty sure once it's in there it's going to stay in there. I just couldn't be asked welding it all in, so I just bolted it and used a rubber seals around the edge to make sure it's going to seal the cabin. Of course, the engine's behind this, so there's no engine smell that'll come in while you're travelling forward, that is, but I am a little worried. The exhaust, you can see just there and there, the J tubes on the Beetle, and they'll be right under it. So plan is to swing, to put the condenser over this side, and I'm going to actually put the pump there sort of in space, so the air that's coming in, it'll come in, go over and go down into the condenser, and the plan is to, so the air can be running past the pump at the same time, so it sort of keeps cool as well. You can't really have that contained, it really needs to be in an airflow. Alright, can't remember what I've shot and what I haven't, but got the compressor, the condenser mounted. So, made a frame, just made an alley frame that supports the fans behind, and the condensers here. Just supports this section of floor that I cut away too, because it's all fucking very flimsy without it. Just got to decide where to put the compressor, and it comes with rubber mounts, of course, because they make a racket and they vibrate. I do have, it comes with like a piece that goes like a bracket like that. If I bend them out a little bit, I should be able to sit the thing. I can just see if I can do this one-handed because it's fucking heavy. sort of down like that. We can sit it about there. It's going to have lots of cool air around it for airflow, and that's the air too that'll come past this. This is basically all intake area for the condenser. So intake through here, across and down, out through here. It doesn't need to be super crazy because it's in such a fucking tiny car. I guess I'll just put it fucking in there, fuck around, and shows what I've done when I've done it. Alrighto. In situ. I haven't screwed it down or anything yet. I'm just going to leave it sitting there. I've got to do all the wiring on the front of it, and I think it'll be easier to be able to lift the thing up. Same as connecting hoses to things. Now I think I've got a hose from here to that, and then the other two actually go to the unit, which is above. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll go make the one hose coil around in here and connect to that, and then the other two can go straight out, and they can actually coil up either side of the unit when the unit's in the middle here, to save some space under here and keep the airflow good. I'm quite happy with that. Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing, eh? Oh well. Well, I'm fucked. Got the pump in place, one of the lines in, made a frame for the unit to sit. So the idea will be I fill in all of this with some sheet, then the unit can sit on top of that, and I'll just hold it down with some screws or whatever. I'll put some captives in the sheet. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'll get the feeling once I sit the unit on there, once everything's on there, it's going to maybe need some height adjustment, so I've allowed for that. Easy enough to do. Yeah, nice little alley frame, and I think that's the bulk of the fab done now. I've just got to wire it in and close it all up. I do want to run the heat and sound deadener shit on the inside and the outside of that sheet that goes on there, because I think that little bugger is going to make a racket. It is vibration isolated, but yeah, my understanding is they're not the quietest thing in the world. I mean, it's still technically outside the car, so not so bad. And to be honest, this thing makes a racket anyway, so I don't know. We'll see what we do. I'll just want to bolt all that down, and then I need to, while I'm screwing that sheet down though, I do need to sort out where the lines are going to go for this thing, just because they've got limited space underneath, and I really want to sort of curl them up here and over here maybe. They both come out of this side of the unit at the back, so I can run around and across and curl them and then put them in, and then there's one connection here and one at the front of that. So I don't know, I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll get them and have a look at them, or maybe not. Fucking have a go with this. Hey, looks alright. I'll replace these with some nice little Steno button heads, of course, and make it all schmicky schmicky, but it's just a piece of tin. It's got some padding and, you know, stop it rattling under it. Everything's hidden under there. All that's left to do now is dodge up some wiring to get it running so the gas can be put in. And all this has to pretty much come apart to have the gas added. Be a pain in the ass, but that's future Mika's problem. I've got my aircon guy coming to sort of help me sort it out. And then we can test the unit, make sure it actually pumps cold, and then I'll put everything back together and wire a switch on the dash to make it happen. And this pretty much will just stay on, cranked or whatever, so that it's happy on the lowest temperature, and we'll try that first, and we'll just keep going from there. If we need to do like make a different, move these controls here up to the front, then that's what I've got to do. But if I can do it without doing that, then that's obviously a lot easier. I don't have to crack the unit open, extend a bunch of fucking wires and shit. But even Mon said, you just turn it off for a bit if it gets too cold and turn it back on again. It's really just going to fill the car with cold air. So I really hope this works really good. But I mean, it looks like everything's cool, it's all in. The hoses are a bit of a cluster because they have to coil up just because they're too bloody long. It'd be better if I could have got one that you made your own hoses and then have them crimped by someone. Anyway, minty fresh.
Guess what? I have air conditioning. See that? Thanks, Nick. Woo!